What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 43 of Park to Prem here with Nottingham Forest. Today, I'm out for blood, everyone. I'm out for revenge. I can taste it in the air, and the recipient of that revenge, I hope, is going to be one Leeds United. A Leeds United team whom last season upset the odds, got a draw against us, and one of the reasons we didn't get Champions League football. Now, of course, last episode we took on Man City where we extracted a little bit of revenge on them, but I feel like justice hasn't been served yet. I realise that my vision of justice here is a slightly warped perception whereby any team who denied me Champions League football is somehow a baddie. But no, I'm hoping we can get a result here against Leeds United. It should be a good one. Last episode, I left things and I wasn't exactly sure when we were going to come back. In the end, I got into one of those sessions where you just can't stop playing Football Manager. You know, you just sit down, you play game after game after game, and suddenly I realised that I'd gone past the West Ham game I said I would do last time, and well, given the circumstances around our last game against Leeds, it felt like a good chance to come back and hopefully show some of the progress we've made. Anyway, before we get into these results, I want to talk about some of the best news ever from a purely selfish point of view, and that is the fact I've been given a new contract at the club. If there was any risk of me being sacked at the end of last year, hopefully it's now out of the window. The board actually wanted me to sign a 5-year contract, which is really cool. I feel like in Football Manager, I can't really recall kind of a board of directors group asking me as a manager to sign a longer deal. I feel like usually they ask for kind of 3 years. So the fact that they wanted to commit to a 5-year deal, which compared to last year's salary of £35,000, the £81,000, it's a bit of a wage rise. The fact they're giving me that wage rise too, I feel very loved and appreciated here at Nottingham Forest. I mean, if we just look at general, I'm still only a favoured personnel, and Piotr and Erk have surpassed me, which I'm not a massive fan of, then becoming bigger. I've made them, everyone. Let that be known. I'm not happy about that. Let's sort that out, hopefully, by winning some trophies and doing better in the league this year, shall we? Right, I'm going off script here, everyone. I just want to have rants against Leeds United and players who are bigger than the club. Just looking at the players as a whole, a few players who I really need to draw some attention to. The first is Toby, who, as you can see, is a little bit on the decline, which isn't really great. I feel like he has very much hit his potential now, and whilst he has been our regular first-team goalkeeper this year, with 6 clean sheets in 12 games, there is a PSG interested in him, and given the fact that we have got Hamada in the team, it's definitely an option that I wouldn't be against exercising, maybe, to try and sell him for a little bit of cash. You can see here, Hamada playing some games in the Europa League as well as the Carabao Cup. I have very much got a first and second 11 on the go now. I've even got them set as presets. So this is the 11 for today's game. There are a few players injured and suspended and stuff. But if we just look at best 11 2, with one click of a button, suddenly we've got a whole new lineup, which is really nice to be in the situation to have. I love having this, and this is a team that's played a little bit for us in the Europa League and the Carabao Cup as of late. You may notice that Amlo here, currently out injured, not the worst injury in the world, a sports hernia. I think he's going to have missed around 3 to 4 weeks. But yeah, as a result of that injury, he's not been given a run in the first team. And to be fair, and I don't want to say this too loudly because I don't really want him to hear me, I don't feel like we've missed Amlo this year, everyone. I don't feel like without him we've been lost. I feel like actually not playing him has actually resulted in us playing a little bit better, and Gonzalez has stepped up to the plate. 9 goals in 10 Premier League starts. He's looked absolutely superb. But as you will come to see when we look at the results, he's not the only player who's been in some really good form as of late. And well, he's improving a lot. One player who is improving more than most is Luis Navio. Is it just me, or does he look like a world-class left-back now? I know someone's going to look at it and scowl at the 8 flair, the 10 off the ball, the 10 crossing and the 10 dribbling, but between those, which, let's be honest, they're not absolutely garbage, and just the plethora of attributes he has above 15 elsewhere, he's so good, everyone. He's so good. I mean, the only downside really is, obviously, he's inconsistent, he's injury-prone. We've not really felt that effect just yet. And, well, he's got a few red cards in his day, hasn't he? We've seen that from him. He's got them in his locker. But no, Luis Navio, he looks like the left-back that I dream of having. And to be honest, he's been putting in some really good performances so far this year. 2 goals and 4 assists for him, and excelling massively in training. Elsewhere, Lind has also been doing pretty well. I've been keenly monitoring his development. I suppose he's still a regular of the England national team, and actually this season playing as a deep line playmaker, 5 assists, 1 goal. He's looked really good this year. I feel like he's finding his groove finally, and actually, in having a ball-winning midfielder behind him, he's got a bit more of a free role this year, which really has seen him excel. Anyway, if we look at the fixtures since we were last here, as I said, I played quite a few because I did get a bit carried away. We started off with a win against Real Sociedad. We won this game 1-0. It was Van Dijk with the goal, yeah. He feels like a new signing this year, everyone. Whilst he's been wrestling with the odd injury here and there, he's certainly been getting himself on the score sheet, and he was a little bit of a difference maker here in a nervy second game in Europe. Unfortunately, against Arsenal, a familiar situation. We went 2-0 up against them after 10 minutes, everyone. Can anyone else remember what happened last time we went 2-0 up against Arsenal? That's right, we lost 3-2. We did it again here. I'm very bitter. Poyana, though, getting off to a flyer for us here. I did have to rotate the team a little bit. I hadn't really been rotating it enough to begin with. Obviously, with the new second best 11 setup, it's a little bit easier to rotate things. As a result, in this game, Poyana and Smith, 2 players who wouldn't normally start, got the goals for us. But not before Dominic scored a goal at the back post for them. And, well, in the second half, it all went horribly, horribly wrong. We were caught out on the break. We kind of just played ourselves, really, here. We gave the ball away to Arsenal. They got it up to Pla. He broke away and took the ball away nicely. And a couple of minutes later, he scored at the back post from another cross. 2 in this game. Maybe something to be a little wary of, the crosses towards the back post. We looked susceptible to them in this game here, but nevertheless, we had time to try and respond in this game, and we really didn't. In fact, as I went more attacking, less stuff happened. Does anyone else ever have that effect in Football Manager? I feel like sometimes you go to attacking and just don't make anything happen. That kind of happened this match, unfortunately, and 3-2 it finished. The good news is we bounced back with a 3-0 win at home against Liverpool. Piana with 2 in this game. Miguel Antonio also getting a goal for himself. Really good to see him get off the mark. Of course, he had an opportunity to do it last episode. He missed that penalty. I've rejuggled the penalty takers as a result. But no, really convincing result, and obviously great to beat Liverpool. Whilst they're not quite the Liverpool team that you could imagine in present day, 11 years on, they are still very much a team to be wary of. Anyway, against Legia, we played a completely rotated 11. This was where the rotated 11 came into its own, and you can see here some really good performances. Hamada with a 7.3, Calafiori with an 8.1, Ricketts getting a 9.8. He has been a player we've turned to regularly on off the bench to be a bit of an impact player. He was top drawer in this win. And also, man of the match, or not man of the match, but one of my men of the match was Tassos Ioannou. He got a goal and an assist in this game. And for a player who we spent £50 million on, it would be fair to say he's not really hit the ground running. But as of late, playing in this second 11 in Europe, 2 goals, 2 assists in 2 games. And whilst it is against slightly lesser opposition, it's a pretty good opportunity for the 19-year-old, I think, to develop as a player, get first-team opportunities, and hopefully show us what he's all about. I mean, when you look at him here, he looks absolutely top drawer. I feel like it's only a matter of time before he's knocking on the door of the first team trying to get a spot in the starting 11. But yeah, really good to see our reserve team play well in that game and in a few of these other games that followed. Against Wolverhampton Wanderers, this was a weird game. At half-time, there was no highlights whatsoever, and then Piotr decided to get sent off. Of course he decided to get sent off. I don't recall him ever being sent off before. So in a game where we couldn't find the breakthrough, I guess it made sense for it to happen. You can see here, actually, this year he's been a little disappointing so far, Piotr. But I'll tell you who's not been disappointing. It's that man again. It's Poyana. It's not the Irk show anymore. It's the Poyana show. On off the bench, an incredible solo effort. Whilst we were down a man, made a bit of a brave decision to throw him onto the pitch. And it came up trumps. We won the game 1-0, and we followed that up with a 1-1 win against Burnley. I say a win because we won the penalty shootout. We finally learnt how to take penalties. A rotated 11 playing in that game. Great result for us there. We then drew against West Ham 2-2. Very even game. I feel like we were the better team for large spells in this match. Ultimately, though, we didn't score our chances as they came. Irk ended up getting man of the match in this game. Gonzalez got a 7.7. As you can tell by the XG, we were kind of the better team, but you can be the better team all you want. If you don't score more than the opposition, that you're not going to get the points that you maybe think that you deserve. And unfortunately, that was the case there. Against Legia, a 2-1 win. A bit of a weird, quiet game, this one, but ultimately, we got the dub. And most recently, we took on Crystal Palace, a 4-0 win here. Gonzalez back to goal-scoring ways. He's been on penalties as of late. He's looked very, very good this year, and maybe, just maybe, he's starting to look like a £53 million striker. Quite a contrast between his first 11 games of last season and his first 11 games of this season, as you can see there. But anyway, let's get into today's game against Leeds United. I feel like we're at that point in the year where we're finding our groove. Right now, in terms of the league table, we are going pretty darn strongly. We're currently in second, although Wolverhampton Wanderers, I believe, have just leapfrogged us because of a recent result against Chelsea, which they actually won. So fair play to Wolves. That is a very useful result for us because, as you will see in just a second, as I'm going to bring up the league table here, you can just see Chelsea currently top of the table after 13 games. Even if we were to win this game here, we're going to be more than a whole 3 points behind them. It's very, very close behind Chelsea, and I feel like at the moment we are in the driver's seat perhaps for a Champions League spot. But the title kind of feels like it might have gone, everyone. I don't want to sound defeatist, but we need Chelsea to start slipping up, and they haven't looked like doing that. And as we learned last season, we're prone to slipping up against Leeds United, and they just had a blooming good chance there, which does not fill me with hope. I was about to start shouting demand more, but after 3 minutes, it won't actually do anything. Gonna have to wait until around the quarter of an hour mark before we decide to do any more shoutiness. Either way, though, can we deal with this here? Miguel Antonio gets it out. We earn the throw-in. Can end the highlight there, Football Manager. That will do us. Not the best start to the game. I'm hoping that today we're going to get a monkey off our back. We're going to get rid of some demons in the closet. Is it demons in a closet? I don't know. Ghosts in the closet? Whatever's in the closet, Leeds United are in there with them. And I want to get rid of them. Also, this game is awful. Can we have something happen, please, Football Manager? I should shout. If in doubt, just give it a shout. Look at that. Never have truer words been spoken. I can't English today, everyone. There are some days where you sit down to record as a Football Manager YouTuber and words just don't come out your mouth properly. Whips it in. Gonzalez heads it just wide. 2 chances in the space of 2 minutes. Both times it was delivering vicious balls into the box. Couldn't quite find a way through, although maybe it's Navio's turn to launch something into the box. It's a big long throw. Miguel Antonio flicks it. Vasquez gets it off the line. There is a mad scramble here. Van Dijk's gone down in the shambles and it's gone out for a goal kick. I mean, we went from having no highlights to having 3 in the space of 5 minutes. So the game's burst into life. Unfortunately, that life is not going to see a goal before half-time. But we definitely, after the shout, started to respond. I'm gonna get a little shouty here. I want the players to make a difference. I've not done any arm pumping there. If we don't get a goal in the second half, I'll know it was because I didn't pump my arms, everyone. I mean, it's dominant, but there's a point here where I'm going to think, let's throw on Poyana. And I feel like that moment is coming kind of now. So let's do it. We're going to bring in Poyana for Boyer. Boyer had a really good start to the season, but has been disappointing as of late. I'm also going to bring in Smith for Lind, who's on the booking. The last thing I want here is to go down a man. This is a game, though, where we've been in, I don't want to say complete control, but besides their chance at the very start of the game, they have done nothing here. Going to have to make some further changes. Throw a few more men into the attack, which I don't love to do, but I want to win this game, everyone, in case that isn't obvious. I want a win here. I want to beat Leeds United in an episode. We've got a chance here. Poyana on off the bench, whips it in. It's headed over again by Gonzalez. We've had lots of chances from set pieces and we've not taken them. Now Leeds United with a throw in our area. Navio gets it away, but only as far as Reynolds. Now Aguma with it. Reynolds with it again to Tahir. Hits it. I don't believe it, everyone. I feel like we've been here before against this Leeds United team. They're still in the closet. I've tried to get them out of the closet. Leeds United are still firmly sat in there saying, no, we're not leaving. We're comfy here. Oh dear. I mean, was it not offside? I mean, it clearly wasn't because VAR would have swayed the decision. But with their second shot of the game, they've scored. Now, the bizarre thing here is because of our team, I actually believe that we can still win this game. I believe that we can still get into this. As Navio whips in, Gonzalez is there. That's why I believe, everyone. By the way, Luis Navio, 10 crossing. 10 crossing, everyone, that was there. What a nutty ball into the box. And that's why I feel like crossing doesn't matter that much. What was this ball by Navio? Oh my word, how's he picked out Gonzalez? First time finish on the volley over his shoulder was very difficult as well. Going to try and encourage the players here now. Will anyone react well to my encouragement? There's some smiley faces. Can we get another? I'm going for it, everyone. Very attacking. Come on, something happen. I told you, when you go very attacking, stuff just doesn't happen. I mean, 1-1. They're still in the closet. They're still there. They're not leaving. Oh, I really wanted to win this game, and it's just not worked out for us. And it's ended up being a game with not many highlights either. I'm sat thinking, what can we do now for the next couple of minutes to make this episode a little bit longer for you guys? You know, if you've got a lunch break of half an hour, a Park to Prem episode that only lasts 15 minutes, that is not good enough, is it? Let's be frank here. I mean, I know who I'm blaming. The team, not me. It was not user error. I guess in terms of just having a quick look at the squad, you can see here, Erk's doing well. What I would say is in his last 5 games, he slowed down a little bit. Only 2 assists in the last 5 is... it's disappointing by his own incredibly high standards, I suppose. But he's still comfortably the best player in the team. You can see here, Owen Ricketts has done really well in the games that he's played. Of course, he's been part of the second best 11, who generally speaking have played against slightly lesser opposition. But he's looked pretty good for us to start. Leek as well, you know, doing a very similar job. Obviously playing in at right back for us. A player who, you know, if we did get a long-term injury in the right back area, probably wouldn't have too much in the way of hesitation to bring him back in. He is also, if I'm not mistaken, returned to the national team setup under Nottingham Forest. I say that. He got excluded apparently from the most... He was called up for the national team, I promise you, but he's not there now. Lind and Adrian Smith are 2 players there. Speaking of Smith, of course, he is kind of on the bench with this best 11. He's got 6 starts and 4 appearances on off the bench to his name. One thing that I'm sure we'll see as the season goes on is the number of minutes is going to be spread a lot more over the whole team, especially with the emergence of the second 11. I do feel like we are a team good enough to actually do that. You can see in terms of goal scoring, Gonzalez and Poyana leading the way, then Erk. Van Dijk's done well. I talked about Boyer already. He started really, really well, and he's just fallen a bit off the pace as of late. He started the season absolutely amazingly. You sit there thinking, yeah, 56 million well spent. Right now he is giving off Van Dijk energy. Not as in Virgil van Dijk as in our Van Dijk. Wouter van Dijk. He's got Van Dijk energy about him. You know, good first season comes in, doesn't really have the impact that we want him to. But hopefully he can turn a corner there. You can see in terms of assists, they kind of come from absolutely everywhere, to be honest. There's not one player running away with the assists. Lind, Navio and Erk all leading the way. Interesting to note that they're all players who play on the left-hand side of the field. Is that a coincidence? I think not. Actually, I guess with the roles that we have on the left, of a deep line playmaker, an inverted winger and a wing-back, it kind of makes sense that they would get more assists than, say, the Mazzala and the inside forward, who are, you know, very often getting on the end of things. But no, I do need to think a little bit about the system and how I might want to tweak things. I mean, as we saw in that Leeds United game, generally speaking, we boss games and we dominate games. And to be honest, defensively, we've been very, very good this year. We've kept clean sheets in almost half of our Premier League matches, which is as good as you can really hope for. Obviously, that's been Toby contributing there. But on the whole, I think that the defence has been pretty solid so far. I'm liking what I'm seeing, especially from Navio. Piotr's done well when he's not been sent off. Silva and Sampaio still have a little bit to prove, I feel like. Their average ratings have been lacking as of late, but I don't know. There's reasons that I'm sticking with them, and I think they're young players who are going to grow. Just one other thing that crossed my mind, actually, is the fact the youth facilities have been upgraded, so they are now at state of the art. We are getting very close to the area where I don't actually think we can improve the facilities anymore. I think they are just the best they can be in every single department. Are they the best? I think they are the best they can be in every single department. So maybe the stadium is the next thing to look at. We've not touched the City ground since we moved into it. Obviously, it holds 30,000 fans, and I feel like we are fairly consistently now selling that out. Whether or not it's a new stadium or an expansion that's needed, I suppose remains to be seen. Anyway, guys, you might be able to hear it in the background, you might not. My neighbours have just decided to start doing DIY. It's almost as if their lunch break's over. So with that in mind, I'm going to wrap up today's episode for today. Disappointing result on the pitch. I think we'll be back next time in the mists of a January transfer window. Expect there to be signings. Expect there to be punts. We've got hundreds of millions in the bank. I can't wait to spend it. Hopefully you'll be around tomorrow to see what we spend it on. And there's just noise coming from everywhere, folks. I'll talk to you in a bit. It is me, Jack. and I'm out. The universe hates me, and so does Leeds.